David Lynch has that interview where he's like, well, my creative process is I wake up, I have coffee, I smoke a cigarette, I do some painting till 11, and then I'll write for a little bit, and then that's my day. And it's like, that's not your creative process, that's just what you did today. And like, I want to know, like, what are you thinking when you're writing? What are you writing? I want to know what is happening creatively. Show me your creativity. I want to do the DVD extras, behind the scenes footage for you. Sharing the movie and then kind of sharing that process and going through it with everybody. Is it exactly what we had in mind, or did we evolve? Did we change? Did it get better? Did it get worse? I want to explore all of that. I want to show all of that process. So we're releasing our first one, Know Your Neighbor. It is a mockumentary short film. It's about a news crew that interview a local hero and find out more than they bargained for. And originally the idea was meant to be more of like a motivational speak, you know, like how they like sit in front of the camera and they talk to you and they take a sip of their coffee. And that's kind of how I pictured it in my brain when I first had the idea. And then it evolved into maybe it's like a day in the life of like a football player kind of thing of you follow them around and see the routine and stuff. It eventually turned into this 60-minute style interview. And that seemed to really click. That really worked in my brain. We took inspiration from The Office as well. In the cut scenes, you know, it's not just all interview. Like there's like a interview and then a behind the scenes thing happening at the same time, and it really gives it that like mockumentary feel. This is a $0 budget production. All the equipment was accumulated and borrowed from friends. We used a 7D and a 6D Canon DSLR. We used our iPhones for the sound. We shot it in my friend's living room. Everyone just donated their time. We did it in 6 hours maybe, and it was really, really fun.
Now, would you say you're pretty close with your parents, Clark?
Yes.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay.
He's a guest.
All right. No, I didn't.
Randy?
And the cast in it is Quentin Kirby, Devin Skolin, Loxie Wendell, my friend Haley Costi as the director of photography, and then I wrote it, directed it, edited it. Over the past 12 years, I've just been accumulating skill and working to get better at filmmaking as a whole, and that includes doing a lot of it yourself. And then my wife, Brittany, was a PA and an extra, and then my friend David Nicholson Fajardo was a PA and an extra as well. And everything was pretty smooth. The biggest problem I've worked out post is the sound. It's it's noticeable when you use an iPhone versus, you know, a microphone, because that happened for the Blair Witch Project as well. They sold the movie at a festival, and then the studio put all their money not to polish the video quality but to polish up the audio, and audiences will prefer a better sounding movie versus a better looking movie if the sound's not as good. I'm really excited it's coming out, and I love the idea of kind of sharing the creative process of what we're trying to do and how it's done and the hurdles we hit and what works and what doesn't. Not documenting our journey, but letting people see it's like, oh, you know, everybody can do this now. We're going to be doing this a lot. We're going to be trying to get more and more stuff out there, sharing the movie and then kind of sharing that process and going through it with everybody. And we'll see you guys soon.